Hello and good morning, Blue Jays fans, and welcome to a Victory Friday. Yeah, I think that's what day it is. So, anyway, Blue Jays end up winning a ball game finally, 6-1 against the Boston Red Sox Thursday evening, and hold on to the slimmest of leads to continue to have the division race in their hands. So, as far as all the craziness goes, it goes to show that this team still does have a pulse. So that's pretty damn good. So why don't we just dive into what was the bullpen day and, like I said, an eventual win for the Toronto Blue Jays. So bullpen day was kicked off by Louis Varland, who has bounced back and forth between pitching rotation and the bullpen over the season and his career, really in general. Crazy good stuff. And we saw that on full display in the first two innings of the Toronto Blue Jays game as he took on the Red Sox. No hits, no nothing, just three strikeouts in those two innings. Varland was on fire, and it was the beginning of this team being actually perfect through five innings. So after that, Varland just looked incredible. Like I said, Eric Lauer continues to look like Eric Lauer out of the bullpen, 3 1/3. Kind of quasi stretching him out, I would hope, because at the end of the day, our Blue Jays pitching staff is a little beat up, and Eric Lauer has been a very good bright spot for this Blue Jays team as he's been doing great all season. So let's take advantage of that, get him stretched back out to the point where he can actually pitch maybe in the postseason, or at least be ready for an emergency situation. Eric Lauer, like I said, 3 1/3, no hits, no walks, no base runners of any kind, two strikeouts as well, and just looked really good on the mound yesterday. So, like I said, that gets you through 5 1/3 perfectly. Yariel Rodriguez comes in to pitch that last piece of that inning to pick up the last two outs. Eventually gets the win for the Toronto Blue Jays because of some wonderful things that happen on offense. Finally, 2/3 of an inning from him with a strikeout as well. Lowers his season ERA down to 3. So, anyways, let's jump to the well, let's stick with the bullpen for a minute. Brandon Fisher was the only one that gave up a run and basically a base runner. So first base runner was in that inning. Brandon Fisher gives up a run and a walk as well. And then, like I said, not much else happened after that. The Blue Jays bullpen holding true with Dominguez, Brandon Little. Plenty of drama in the ninth once again with Jeff Hoffman, but he does close the door. Not a save opportunity when you're winning 6-1 at the time, but maybe that's the problem. I have no idea, but either way, it was still edge of your seat stuff with the two runners on and not enough outs in the ninth inning at the time when it started. So let's jump over to the offense because this is where all the fun actually happened and put the Blue Jays back in the right places. So I'm sorry, I switched the wrong thing. But anyway, just fun way to kick everything off. This game was silent, both sides of the ball, and all of a sudden the bases are loaded in the sixth inning, and Dalton Varsho looking to do some damage. And this is after right after Anthony Santander hit a couple balls that went down the right field line and didn't quite stay fair enough to be a grand slam. Varsho puts his 20th home run into the seats for a grand salami. Break out the mustard and cheese, scores Guerrero, Addison Barger, and Anthony Santander, who had walked, as I mentioned. And then not too long after that, 31st home run for George Springer, scores Andres Jimenez as well. A 2-run blast puts the Blue Jays up 6-1. The power outage is hopefully over, and the Blue Jays put a few big runs on the board here and take over this game. The only other scoring I mentioned was with the Red Sox, scored Yaron Duran on a Trevor Story single. So, but the Blue Jays did everything they needed to do to keep everything moving in the right direction here and did exactly that. Took the win, did what they needed to do, and kept pace because unfortunately this division race is not going anywhere. And we still hold on and cling to the division right now by the tiebreaker. Unfortunately, the New York Yankees won their 5th game in a row. Thank you, Chicago White Sox. You guys gotta get me something. But tonight, thankfully, they're gonna play somebody a little bit more competitive who's been playing some great baseball in the Baltimore Orioles. Trevor Rogers will be pitching against Will Warren in New York. Will be the only big perk to that whole thing. But the Baltimore Orioles have been playing some great baseball over the last few weeks. They are 6-4 in their last 10, and hopefully can put at least a couple losses on the board for the New York Yankees and slim this or open up this slim lead and keep things moving in the right direction. For us, we get to have our other nemesis come to the damn Rogers Center and Skydome. We get to hold down the fort here against the Tampa Bay Rays, who always are a pain in the giant butt. Also, if you have not gotten the memo yet, yes, once again, Apple TV has stole this game from us to watch. So, best of luck, everybody, watching it on the world's crummiest broadcast. It seems like I just can't stand watching it. The baseball is not watching a Blue Jays game when it's the middle of a literally division title race every time they play. It's just very baseball in general, and that's what I don't like about this broadcast. So anyway, Adrian Hauser will be on the mound against Shane Bieber. Hopefully we get some Bieber fever on the mound today, and he mows through these Tampa Bay hitters. Basically, this lineup has not faced Shane Bieber. The youngsters, and the biggest words are that Yandy Diaz is not going to be in this lineup tonight. So there is some Blue Jays threats that might not be in this lineup and keep things hopefully on the level for us to take this win easily. Because we could use a burner here and just let them run, get this offense chugging in the right direction and beat up on Adrian Hauser. The unfortunate reality is, last time the Blue Jays faced Adrian Hauser, he's wearing a Chicago White Sox jersey, and he kind of had his way with us. So hopefully the Blue Jays find something to be able to do a better job against Adrian Hauser in this one, because it was really rough to watch that one against the White Sox and just, yeah, coughed up an easy one, it seemed like, against the White Sox. But Hauser, to his credit, pitched really, really well, but not a lot of hits in this one. Anthony Santander is one of the few that has a few hits. Alejandro Kirk has 2. So not a lot of hits here against Adrian Hauser as far as that last outing goes. But anyways, we'll see what happens. But the Toronto Blue Jays need to win and keep pace with the New York Yankees, and Bieber is been on a roll for the most part. He's only allowed 2 earned runs in his last 3 earned runs in his last 2 starts, and in one before that he had a little bit of a rough outing against the Houston Astros, in which he allowed 3 on 9 hits, but he has only allowed 4 hits in each of his last 2 starts against the Baltimore Orioles and the Kansas City Royals. Meanwhile, Adrian Hauser, same kind of thing actually. 5 hits in his last outing, 3 earned runs, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts while pitching 6 innings against the Boston Red Sox. So it could be interesting to see what happens tonight. I will be at the game tonight and tomorrow afternoon, looking to enjoy the baseball game with my co-host of the Jaybird Watching podcast, Liz McGuire, and hopefully just have a great damn time in the ballpark and hopefully clinch a division title, World Series, hopefully eventually. So on that note, Blue Jays fans, I hope you have a great night. Go Blue Jays, and we'll talk to you soon.